Good morning. Welcome to biomaterials course. And today's we'll continue to talk about the biomaterials. The basically is I will mention some classic materials we use in our research and clinical application. As we know, we already narrowed down to our project, and you will see like either ship memory, either super elastic part, or I want the like kind of the materials to be hydrogel 3D printing. So that's all related to have a further knowledge about the biomaterials. So today's we continue to talk about the materials part, the chemical things. And we go back to the lecture 5 because we know that the tissue, the organ, and the tissue in the intra, the triangle. And in that case, we should go like a little bit further about chemical structure. Let me like share my screen, stop my video first. And start broadcasting. Okay. So I believe you already see my shared screen. So first difference is go to that. Your midterm. Your midterm I will post after class. Around basically it's like the different way before the 12 p.m. And you have 3 days. So due day Thursday, okay? Thursday, 5 p.m. And we have around 15 general questions and one paper reading. That's very similar to your homework questions about biomaterials, amphiphilic polymer, for drug release to deal with breast cancer. So we have general questions around the 15 plus one paper reading, and there's around 5 questions. So total is like around 20 questions. Maybe like more because I need to double check. Maybe remove some questions also, or add 1 or 2 more questions. But generally is like is this one. So for each question, please don't talk about too much word. Too lots of one question. I don't need you like half pages. You just a few sentences. It's enough. Okay, a few sentences is okay for questions. For each question, and all questions you can get. Lot of you can find from your textbook or my notes. But like generally it's like this one. Any question for your midterm? So if no questions, like we will talk about even more about today's lecture. Today's lecture is about more related to your project. So it's about like we will specifically selected some polymers that may be very useful, valuable for your project. So specifically, we will talk about is like polyurethane, that's like could be elastic and biodegradable or biodegradable. Biodegradable. Okay, and with a soft plus hard piece, so form the elastic. So that's why I have some elastic. And meanwhile, we will talk about the JAMA. So it's about the gelatin plus, yeah, we generate this mass acrylic, yeah, messy math acrylic, correct? Acrylic and hydride to prepare the gelatin math. Yeah, we can get the gelatin mass acrylate polymer. That's generally for all kind of tissue engineering, and that's even like 3D bio ink. And this one is right now is one of the most popular hydrogel for make tissue 3D printing, a lot of things. And another one is PHB. That's interesting. That PHB as like, for example, it's like, yeah, so generates like poly hydroxy butyrate, okay? And that's like interesting, bacteria can make the polymer. So we can, yeah, like the bacteria eat different chemical rich molecules. They can, yeah, they can make the bacteria. Yeah, we put like a lot of like different nutritions, sugars, different sugars, for examples. Later the bacteria eat, then they make different mechanical property or chemical properties of PHB. So this three, yeah, it could be elastic, yeah, it could do a lot of things like make a bone, make a hot valve, make a stand, yeah, make a stand. You can for a lot of this one, yeah, you can use this one for gelatins like brain tissue. That's generates like one of the most popular materials. So these three I want to focus, and I give some examples and even a little bit more movies. And yeah, so let's talk. Yeah, let's go back to lecture 5. So the slides there. So we first like talk about is polyurethane. So polyurethane, the urethane group with like NH and CO. If you take a look at textbook in chapter 8, we can get very rigid is a thermoplastic. We know what is thermoplastic from engineering materials 2. It's like at the thermal conditions, yeah, you can cool down, melt, cool down. They will not change mechanical properties. And it could be elastomer. Yeah, could it be like for the sealants? It means like blood vessel, for example, some bleeding. You just put the sealants, yeah, to make a perfect sealing effects and stop the bleeding. So for the bio glue and make forms, a lot of things, okay? And the basic group is isocyanate and OH. Alcohol means with OH group. And this one is like this, okay? Yeah, isocyanate. They can react with the OH group. And we can use different, for example, R with NCO or R prime OH. So generally it's like this one, okay? Yeah, and isocyanate, CO. So R prime, we can, using different function groups. So later the materials be more kind of hard or like softer or like super elastic. And you can do a lot of things, yeah. So the medical device could be like a polyester urethane, a lot of things. So it could be elastic, transparent, product compatibility, degradation in vivo. And you can also later be hydrogel, and for heart valve, and for brain tissue. But gelatin MA is one of the popular for brain tissue because very soft. This one could be like a stand, soft robot, and heart valve. Okay, yeah, all kind of polyurethane can be you can make this kind of the medical device. Only things like you need to be choose like what kind of function group you want to put inside. Yeah, so I will give you one examples. I want like a little bit hard, for examples like polyurethane. So we know the benzene group. Benzene group is very stiff, right? Yeah, benzene. So it's very stiff. Can increase the stiffness or hardness, and generates like carbon, carbon, carbon. This one, pretty soft. Okay, soft. So we can combine together. So first one's like I want to introduce is like this material. For examples, like we not need isocyanate and OH group, right? So here's how we start to introduce. Yeah, their reaction is very fast. Benzene, I said, I'll move in the middle. Benzene. Yeah, you can put like a methyl group and another benzene group because that's a symmetric. Yeah, we need because for reaction we need a double NCO, right? And meanwhile, we need a double half OH group because that's like OH can react with this one. So using alcohol for examples. Then you can very fast make a polymerization. This one reaction with OH is very fast. So we can gate, for examples. Yeah, this one becomes CO, N, right? So group and N, C, O, then with O, right? Carbon, carbon. We have two carbon. Yeah. And multiple N. So for this one's like, just let you know. O, because it's the polymer, right? This one is a typical uracil group. That's the uracil. Yeah. You see the uracil group. And if you take a look at this one, COO, also that means like multiple units. Yeah, you can make a repeated units. So uracil, this with nitrogen, generates this one is NH. Yeah. But like we only need like hydrogen, we don't need to put there. Generates like N backbone NCOO. That's it. That's the uracil group. And you can control this one. For example, so I remove the benzene group. And so we can tune the hardness to a little bit soft. We can elongate this one to increase the stiffness. This one. So or apply to tune the elasticity or hard or soft. Yeah, we can control. And even like yeah, hydrophilic or hydrophobic. And you can get like the tough materials and use this way to control the degradation. So that's the polyurethane. It's very useful. Yeah, you will use this one. So this one is from, yeah, isocyanate. Okay, this one generally from like alcohol. Yeah. So that's the kind of application. Yeah. So OH water related or OH related. So a lot of materials, not only alcohol. Okay. Yeah. So but this one we definitely need isocyanate groups, and this one we need the OH group for like a polymerization. So if we choose like a monomer or like a monomer like this one, yeah, so that's the RNCO arsenate. Okay, to form the polyurethane and get the elastic structure or hydrophilic or hydrophobic or even like with hydrophilic or hydrophobic, so they can make a self-assembly. That's possible. And so use this one we can do a lot of things. Yeah, so here's the movies, get a tough tissue using they use polyurethane, a short movie. You guys can see my screen, right? Any students can confirm with me? Hello? Yeah.
Yeah, we see it, Professor.
Okay, good. Yeah, thank you. So right now, let's see the bioresorbable polyurethane. To do what? Yeah, to form a little bit, a tough tissue. Yeah, it's for meniscal tear.
New research reported in the American Journal of Sports Medicine suggests that a resorbable polyurethane implant could help patients recover from meniscal deficiency. Researchers showed that the implant was able to improve knee function and reduce knee pain in patients with partial meniscal defects. Meniscal lesions are the most common injury requiring orthopedic surgery today. In Europe, surgeons perform 400,000 such procedures each year, and in the US, more than 1 million. Removing the damaged tissue used to be the preferred method for treating meniscal tears. But given the risk of developing arthritis in the absence of this vital cushion, surgeons are now opting to repair or even regenerate the injured tissue. To determine how viable regeneration might be, researchers examined 155 patients fitted with a polyurethane scaffold designed to promote tissue regrowth. 141 of these patients previously had part of their meniscus removed and suffered from post-surgical pain. In these patients, the scaffold was implanted during subsequent arthroscopic surgery. The remaining 14 patients received the implant after suffering an irreparable meniscal tear. Clinical outcomes were measured before implantation and at 2- and 5-year follow-ups using the visual analog scale for pain. the International Knee Documentation Committee Subjective Knee Evaluation Form, the Lysholm Knee Scale, and the Knee Injury and Osteoarthritis Outcome Score. The team also used MRI to evaluate the knee joint, the meniscal implant, and the extent to which the meniscus stretched beyond its normal bounds. On average, pain symptoms improved among the 114 patients for whom clinical outcome data was available. Scores for pain across every scale used improved at a statistically significant rate during the follow-up period. Over that same period, MRI scans revealed the implanted scaffolds remained stable. At final follow-up, about 83% of the implants had survived among patients for whom such data was available. 23 scaffold treatments failed, due either to breakage or conversion to alternative treatments, such as meniscal transplantation or arthroplasty. Some limitations of the study should be noted. Among the original 155 patients, information on clinical outcomes was available for only 114, and MRI data for only 56.
So this one's show you one kind of like a polyurethane. You can do from soft to from hot to from skin, from hot to to like the tough tissue, cartilage or meniscus. The tough tissue. And that is useful, And some other materials I will introduce like this category is synthetic polymers, hydrogel. So why hydrogel? Hydrogel means like the materials can absorb water. We know in our human body, there's a lot of water percentage in our tissue and organs. So hydrogel is very similar to our tissues with water. And if we choose like, for example, like this one, hydrogel, they can absorb water, water molecules. They can swollen for my tissue, for artificial tissues. So basically, it's for could be natural, synthetic. So gelatin is a typical hydrogel we will use and make a cross-linking, covalent bonded. So that's like water non-soluble. So here's like, for examples, like hydroxyl methyl acrylate. So generally, it's this one, methyl acrylate. We always use this polymer, okay? Methyl acrylate. This one, this kind of polymer, okay? So that's the this one's like if you put a mess, you put a carbon here, so this one could be this, okay? But the general structure we only will study this like polymethyl polymer. It's very useful. And the gelatin also, gelatin MA also based on this structure. And what could it be like, 2/3 or like, could it be like methyl acrylate, could it be 80 to 90% water, it's possible. And generally it's like if we have put a carbon here and this one linked to this one to contact lens, we can make a lot of change and decide by hydrophilic polymer, monomer, then cross-linking or like some pH value temperature. And we can design a polymer. And so here's like another polymer, here's like polymethyl acrylate, okay? You will see that means carbon, okay? Carbon. If like with this part using that's the monomer. I write down monomer, right? Carbon NH, carbon. So this one can be polymerized from double bond. If you check the engineering materials course, we have the free radical polymerization. So this polymer is interesting. It's like if this one make the polymer is the hydrogel, that hydrogel is temperature sensitive. There's at 32 degree. So if temperature go too high, then this one make the gel. And this one is, it's a solution. So that's the sol gel transition. That's interesting. And this one become a gel, this one become a solution. So we can use this materials and we put some like OP1, for example, or like the stem cell. We know like generally if we want to see the cells in the scaffold is very challenging. So we can put it at room temperature in solution. So OP1 or stem cell can easily be uniformly distributed or dispersed in the solution. Then inject to the body or defect. They can quickly form the gel at the body temperature because we're not the 37 degrees. So that's use this way, like we can get an in situ transition for therapy. That's like materials. It's recently pretty popular. And the PEG, polyethylene oxide, like this one is PEG, right? PEG. You can see, PEG, polyethylene glycol materials. This one. Generally, it's this kind of structure. So we have 2 carbon, 1 oxygen, so the PEG. And the materials is very popular, one of the most versatile or like, a lot of potential for this synthetic materials, PEG hydrogel. So the materials is like interesting, it's a synthetic polymer, but our body, our immune systems know this polymer is a polymer, but they will feel it is a very safe materials. So PEG is always using is a hydrophilic materials, and will not cause any very serious, severe reaction from our human body. So this one is very useful. So a lot of like put like multiple arms and put different functional group to make hydrogel. So for example, it's like even PEG, and for what you can work with, for example, it's like PU or gelatin, MA to make your brain tissue. That's generally like we think about like, okay, PEG is a very nice material, non-toxic. We can use this one to control the gelatin or the brain tissue stiffness or hot wow. A lot of things we can do. And even nanoparticle differently. So in the midterm, we use one part is PM because PM is the PEG is the hydrophilic and non-falling property and other things. You can take a look at the paper I will submit for your midterm. But the USC is PEG is for we know the amphiphilic polymer nanoparticles. So generally we put like hydrophilic part is PEG, and PEG also is very safe to our immune system, and they will recognize it as a toxic materials, or we want to kick it out. No, PEG is very nice. So if we put the PEG in nanoparticle, it's very safely have a long-term very nice circulation in our body. And this one is pruronic is like PPO, PEO is like this one is PEG or PEO, whatever, similar name. And this one increase 1 carbon is PPO. So this one is a hydrophilic This one because it introduced a carbon, so hydrophobic. Okay, so the polymer is interesting. Like we have hydrophilic, we have hydrophobic. What will happen? So inputting the water, they will form nanoparticles. So yeah, PPO, PO, PO, PPO, PO, they can form nanoparticles because that's like the surface content property, and they can make nanoparticles. That's very interesting materials. And here's again, we will polyhydroxy methyl acrylate. This one, hydroxy methyl acrylate. Yeah, you see the methyl acrylate. That's carbon. Yeah, and this one is to make a double bond. Yeah, so like this one. So this part is the hydroxy ethyl hydroxy is like this one, right? Hydroxy, this one, and this part is ethyl, and meth is this one, meth. This one is meth group. Meth. This part is accurate. Okay, so if we take like this one, yeah, you can see. And the reactions happens. Which reaction happens? Reactions happens this one. That's for polymerization. You can do like a lot of things like contact lens, diaper, bone cements. Yeah, bone cements all related to this part. Okay, related to this part. And the soft, transparent, tear film, wettable, hydroxy transmissible. That's for contact lens. But based on the methyl acrylate, we do a lot of other things. Yeah. So that's the methyl acrylate. We will talk about it more because for gelatin, for 3D bio ink. And the polyvinyls is also very interesting, like all based on like a carbon and with OH group. So that's why it's really very transparent, very nice materials, and it could be very strong. Yeah, very strong strength. Yeah, could be very good because a lot of OH is a hydrogen bond, and make the hydrogen can also have a huge applications by medical areas. So polyvinyl alcohol. And this one is like a synthetic elastomer. Yeah. Okay, elastomer. And with OH group and COH plus OH, like it's like acidic. Okay, that's the base. They make a reaction. They can link it together. But this one is not today's focus, but it's very useful. Yeah, glycerol and this one acidic. They can make a highly cross-linking polymer elastomer. Okay. And cadocin, with cellulose adenate, we will talk about a specific next lectures. This one I would like introduce. Yeah, polyhydrox, hydroxyalkanoates. So it's like polyester. That's like the nature degradable, and you can do a lot of packaging materials, food packaging, and tissue, neural bone, heart. Yeah, muscle, skin. Yeah, a lot of, so it's also can be used as bioelastic. So generally it's like they are bacterial make. Yeah, the PHA, PHB, they can, yeah, we can feed different type of sugars or nutrition. Later the bacteria can, yeah, get different plastic. That's interesting, huh? Use bacteria to make a plastic. I will like in the next lectures, I will show a few, yeah, examples from our lab use bacteria to make the, yeah, PHB or PHA polymer. So PHB is like, yeah, butyrate means 4. Yeah, like this one. Oh, yeah, 3 hydroxy. 1, 2, 3. We have 4 carbon, right? 1, 2, 3. So you will see like the, yeah, and oh, okay, the OH polymer. So that's like 3 hydroxy. 1, just carbon 1 because of this carbon 1, 2, 3. So 3 has hydroxy OH. And butyrate is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a yeast, okay? Rate means a yeast. So biodegradable. And we can, yeah, have like a different sugar source, and we can get like a 3 again, butyrate. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Butyrate. 3 hydroxy. Again, yeast because I have this one, 1, 2, 3, right? And variety is total is 5 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like this polymer. So it's yeah, we can control the biodegradation rate, stiffness. That's very useful. So hexane means like yeah, we have a total means 6. So like this one, 3 hydroxy same. 1, 2, 3, 4. A carbon, oxygen is here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Because that's the, okay, because have hex total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the polymer. And P4HB, that's one is very stiff. We generally put like even at room temperature for a few days, they will get very stiff and stiff. So we also will introduce like poly 4-hydroxybutyrate. So means like again 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's the P4HB. P4HB. And if P, yeah, 6HB, you have homework questions in, yeah, in last homework is a PCl. So PCl is total have 6 carbon. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's the PCl. But this one is P4HB. Yeah. And a lot of moles, like if like 3 hydroxy or like 8 carbons, a similar sense. But it's very useful, yeah, for yeah, a bioplastic. So we can always tune like a carbon and different combinations, tune the degradation rate. So you will see like PHB, the melting point, and the tensors are very stiff. I told you, right? If you put the room temperature for a few days, we get stiff and stiff. Slow a few more years, but we put like some, yeah, 5 carbon PHV, with, yeah, like this one, very late, so we can decrease the melting point, elongation increase. So the media, and we can increase like HV more, so we can 100, so that's become elastic. You see, elongation go to 850, so means like we can put like hydroxyhexanone 6 carbon is there. So they get the materials pretty soft. You will see with increase the carbon, the materials become soft. That's interesting, huh? That's only for the carbon chain. So very fast, could a few weeks, but the materials were useful. And then right now, like I show you, a similar materials to the PCL. Yeah, let's see.
Granados, and today I will be presenting on the biopolymer polycaprolactone,
Polycaprolactone, 6 carbons.
I will be presenting the properties, applications, benefits, biodegradation of PCl, and how PCl is made. I will begin by covering some of the properties of PCl. PCl is a synthetic.
So you will see general PHB's melting point is 170 degrees. So you can see we increase the carbon, we decrease the melting point, later materials more soft. So you can tune the structure, the mechanical stiffness using different carbon source.
Biodegradable aliphatic polymer. It is a hydrophobic semi-crystalline polymer with a melting point in the range of 59 to 64 degrees Celsius and a glass transition temperature of 60 degrees Celsius. PCl is biocompatible with many other polymers. It has three-dimensional and directional porous structures and good processability and ease of melting processing. We will see that due to these characteristics and properties, PCl is a very desirable polymer in many industries. Now that we know what PCl is and have covered some of the properties of PCl, I will now begin to go over the applications. Due to the characteristics of PCl, like its biodegradability, biocompatibility, and structure, PCl is a very desirable biopolymer, especially in the medical field. PCl can be used in drug delivery systems, sutures, contraceptives, wound dressing, fixation devices, and dentistry. For example, in dentistry, PCl is used as a filling material in root canal treatments. It can also be used in tissue engineering, which is the development of biological substitutes that replace, maintain, or improve tissue function or a whole organ. In tissue engineering, PCl is used as a scaffold. And finally, PCl can also be used in textiles. As we saw in the previous slides, PCl has many desirable characteristics and overall is a very desirable biopolymer to use. Due to this, there are many benefits that come from the use of PCl. The first benefit is that PCl is approved for use by the Food and Drug Administration, better known as the FDA. It is produced at a low cost. As we've seen before, PCl is desirable for medical use due to its biodegradability and biocompatibility. Due to its biodegradability, it reduces the risk of tissue drag, trauma, or infection in medical uses. When it comes to drug delivery systems, PCl allows for controlled release of a drug into the body. PCl is fully excreted from the body once bioresorbed. Due to its easy processability, PCl can be used by various polymer processing techniques to produce any type of scaffold when it comes to tissue engineering. Now that we've covered some of the applications and properties
So
of
that's
PCl,
one of the paper you can remember, peptide conjugated with PCl nanofiber. You guys remember? So that's like using electron spinning nanofiber.
And see how PCl is made. PCl can be prepared by the ring opening polymerization of caprolactone using a variety of anionic, cationic, or coordination catalysts. Or it can be prepared via free radical ring opening polymerization of 2-methylene 1,3-dioxapine. Once it is made, PCl can be turned into a monofilament or multifilament using fiber formation methods. These methods include melt spinning, which is when a polymer is melted, filtered, and extruded through the spinneret; wet spinning, which is when a polymer is dissolved into a suitable solvent and the solution is filtrated, deraded, and pumped through the spinneret; or electrospinning, which is when the polymer melt or solution is subjected to strong electric fields and then the liquid phase polymer is ejected from a nozzle. Now that we have an idea of how PCl is made, we will go over its biodegradation process. PCl is degraded by
So
a
that's the
polymer
difficult,
under
yeah, some that different type of degradation, and so that's not our focus. Yeah, so only like let you know like a PCl with carbon and different materials we can very similar to PHB. So you can see like we increase the carbon, decrease the melting point, and increase the elongation rate. So from very hard stiff could be a super elastic materials. And that's today. I stop here. That's today's lecture. Any question? Don't forget yeah, uh, after lunch you take a look at the midterm questions. But time is not, it's enough for you guys. Generally it's you put a few hours. But I'll give you 3 days to finish. So the uh, the deadline is Thursday 5 p.m. Any question? So if no question, so if your team have want to meet with me, please send me an email. We can book a time, and that's it. Thank you guys.